What is up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, look at me, bitch, I'm making a video. Okay, anyways, as you can see from the title, this story is gonna be about how I made $6 an hour at a summer camp. Alright, so let's just kick this video off and let's get started. This story is from summer 2019. Obviously, as you can see, summer 2019 was not good to me. As you can see from the last video, which I will put a link up here, right here. Summer 2019 was not on my side, but whatever. We ain't even gonna talk about that. This was after my freshman year of college. Yeah, this was my freshman year of college. So I had applied to a job that I was already going to be, like, I was supposed to be working at or whatever. I didn't get rehired. I was pretty pissed off about that, but we're not going to speak about that because that's maybe for another video or maybe not because that's kind of personal, but whatever. I was supposed to be working at another summer camp, didn't get rehired, like I said. So then I was literally scavenging, like I was literally hunting for another job. I was trying to work at another summer camp. I applied to so many in my hometown and my neighboring town and everything. So basically, I had got a lot of callbacks from certain summer camps and everything, and I didn't get a lot of summer camps. I didn't get a lot of callbacks from other summer camps as well. I had applied on Indeed. I uploaded my resume on everything. Like, I was literally scavenging for a job. Why? Because I like to make money. You know, who don't like to make money? Like, come on now. Anyways, so finally got a call back from this one job. At first, they were only going to hire me for one session. If you've ever worked at a summer camp, that means that you're only working for 1 month because summer camps usually run around 2 months or whatever, or in the span of like how long a 2 month like time duration would be. So I was only scheduled to be working the second month of the summer camp and everything, and that was completely fine with me. I didn't mind, like, at least I would be trying to make some type of money, but it wasn't going to go as planned. So I was trying to find another job as well so that I could work for the first month and then have that second job after, like, I stopped working at the first month. Anyways, so got hired to work for the first session or whatever. I had applied to the summer camp to be a head counselor and everything, and that's what I wanted to be because I'm used to working with kids. I've been working with kids for maybe like at least 5 years now. Started babysitting when I was 14, so it's something I'm used to, and I wanted to stay in that field for this summer. I had applied as a head counselor. They got back to me, and basically I would only be a head counselor for the second session, as I said before. And this camp works like in a very like significant way. It's kind of like interesting because I've never worked in that kind of like camp setting. I would always just be used to, like, you're your head counselor, here's your co-counselor, here's your group, maybe new kids come in, whatever. But this camp, it's like new kids come in every week, so you are getting new campers every single week and stuff. So I was ready for that, and they have a whole bunch of activities that could be done there too, so I was lit. Like, they had everything, so I was pretty excited, right? Anyways, so long story short, I ended up becoming the camp photographer, which was actually pretty cool because what I'm doing now, like, I like using a camera and being behind the camera and taking videos of other people, but this time it would be photography, so it gave me like experience in that field. Anyways, I'm gonna get in all that other stuff later, but basically I got hired. I was happy because I was no longer stressed out that I didn't have like a way to make money, because I had a bunch of plans with what I wanted to do with my money for that summertime and how I wanted to save it. So when I didn't get that opportunity to do that with the first job that I originally was supposed to work at and planned to work at, I was very upset. So I was very happy in the situation that I was able to finally be like, okay, girl, you could save, you can get your money, you can do what you want with it, you're good, you know? Boy, was I wrong. The summer camp was in the town that neighbors my hometown or whatever. So it was pretty easy for me to go back and forth, but it's like deep in the other town. So it was like I would have to leave my house early enough in order to get there on time. But yeah, so let's just get into when I started working at the camp. Once I started working at the camp, I had met very like amazing people. So that's what I took away with me from working at this camp and everything. And I also took away some negative things from that camp. But one thing that I'm very happy with is the people that I met and the connections that I made with these people, because they're actually awesome. And I love that I met all of you, whoever's watching. If you are from this camp, if I met you there, I'm grateful that I met you there. When you first start a new job, you're not getting paid in the first like week or how you would be getting paid if you are already working at a job for a very long time, because your direct deposit has to go through, all that stuff has to go through, whatever is going through the system has to go through. Let me just say, I didn't find out necessarily how much I was getting paid. I just knew how much I would have by the end of the summer, which was a mistake of mine. It was kind of like a desperate call with me just taking this job because I needed it. Saw the amount of money that I would have at the end of the summer and I was like, cool, this is good. But you also have to remember, like, when you're getting paid, taxes are being taken out and all that stuff are being taken out and everything. So first week came around, obviously I'm not going to get paid. I understand that. This is not my first job. Second week came around, not going to get paid. But after that second week, you're expecting that check because it only takes about like maybe 2 or 3 weeks to go through. We didn't get paid for the first paycheck until the 4th week of working at the camp. And then on top of that, you're only getting paid for 1 week. You're not getting paid for an entire like weeks that you've been working there. You're only getting paid for 1 week, and then the second check would be the like amount that you're supposed to get, basically, or the amount that's still left over from that first paycheck or whatever. However I explain it, I'm not amazing at math, so whatever. When I first got paid, nobody, like all the people that were working at the camp didn't find out that they were only getting paid for 1 week instead of not what they were supposed to be getting, like a 2-week paycheck. And everybody was pissed off, and who wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? So that's when I first found out that I was getting paid $6 an hour. And honestly, I can't complain as much as someone else who would be, considering since I was the camp photographer, I was getting paid more than the counselors working there. And usually I'm used to getting paid like a certain amount of money. So when it dropped like a significant amount, I was so angry because but put it this way, the amount of money that I was making at my part-time job, I was making at this full-time job. Just let that sink in, because that should not be happening, especially when you're working somewhere like for hours on end. Why am I making the same amount of money that I would be making at a 3-hour job that I only work at for like 2:30 to 5:30? So that already pissed me off. Then also the fact that I was getting half of a check, and then at the same time I'm working OD, you know what I mean? And then they also had like more demands as well. Like you would have to stay for certain like traditional things that they had going on at the camp that would happen after camp hours that you would not be getting paid for. So that was annoying. And then that was like a mandatory thing that you would have to stay for, which is understandable because once you sign the contract or once you read through your employment hand guide, you are aware of the amount of times that you would have to stay afterwards. But it's also more frustrating when you figure out how much you're getting paid and how much time you're actually spending in this place and you're not getting paid for it. So it's annoying. One time, the reason why I wouldn't return to this camp, and I'm actually kind of glad this camp didn't call me back, is because the supervisor there was kind of rude to the counselors and everything, and just to people in general. And I don't really like that, because I feel if you're working in a place and you're a supervisor of somebody, don't get mad at people if they're not necessarily doing anything wrong, or don't take your anger out on one of your workers just because you may be upset about something that's going on in your personal life or something else that someone else did to you. If that person didn't do anything to you, you shouldn't be taking it out on that person. So anyways, there was one time where my supervisor at this camp had yelled at me in front of a group of my coworkers, and I'm the type of person that I can bite my tongue in a lot of situations, but I feel in certain situations people shouldn't be spoken to in a certain tone and in a certain way, because that's going to piss off the other person or make that person feel embarrassed. So when we were being trained for this summer camp, one thing that they had mentioned was don't yell at your campers in front of another camper, or don't yell at all, pull your camper aside and talk to them on their own, because they're gonna feel embarrassed if they're being yelled at another camper. So why do it to your employees? I don't understand that, you know? So this time I'm not gonna go into the whole story of what was going on or why my supervisor had yelled at me, but my supervisor had intentionally yelled at me in front of all my coworkers. I personally don't like that, and I didn't appreciate it. And it was literally the first time she yelled at me, like it was the same incident. She kept yelling at me, and I took it, and she just kept going on, and that's when I just snapped. Because why do you feel like it's okay to keep on yelling at me after I've already said okay, or that I understand? And that's when I just went off. And it was just, we were just going back and forth, because I understand that you're my supervisor, but what also pissed me off is you're not about to yell in my face when you're only paying me $6 an hour like that, especially, and that's not what I'm used to getting paid. So it would be you, if you work, you'll understand. If you're getting paid $24 an hour, you're gonna take more crap from your boss, or even that, I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but you're gonna be at least like more aware of, okay, maybe I should like not go off or whatever, because I need the job because it's paying me a lot of money, compared to getting paid $6 an hour and then someone's disrespecting you like that on days on end. Hell no, I don't care. And the job was only 2 months. And everybody was just silent in the room when this person was yelling at me, and I was going back and forth, because that's rude. Like, I didn't do anything to you. You're hearing about a situation that went down in the camp, and maybe I had something to do with it, but it wasn't even that big of a deal to be yelled at for it in front of a bunch of people. So that pissed me off. And then later on, I had called my father. I talked to him about it, and I was like, this is what happened. And he even said that my supervisor was wrong. So, long story short, my supervisor had came to me and like apologized and everything like that, and that's great. And like, I accept your apology, but I'm not apologizing, because I didn't do anything wrong. And if anything, I feel like I handled the situation in a better way, because I agreed, or I listened to what this person had to say first, and then I said I understand, and then they kept going on, and that's what put me over the edge. I didn't necessarily have a group of people that I could sit with, because I wasn't necessarily considered a specialist, but I also wasn't a counselor, so there was really nowhere for me to eat in a way. So I just sat with a group of like people. First of all, I was friends, or I talked to basically everybody in the camp, so I felt comfortable sitting anywhere I wanted. But it got to a certain point where my supervisor and the director of the camp didn't want me sitting with kindergarten or with another group of people. So I basically, if I sat there, they would tell me to, where I would eat lunch is I would eat with the kindergartners, because I was cool with their counselors and everything, and I was also cool with like the older kids as counselor, and also the people who were like first grade, second grade, all that other stuff. I was cool with everybody, okay? Because I like to talk to a bunch of people. So I would usually sit and eat lunch with kindergarten, sit there all the time, but then it got to a certain point where my supervisor and my director didn't want me sitting in there anymore, because they wanted it just to be their counselor sitting there. So when I had asked them if I could sit inside, they also said no, that I had to eat outside. So I was like, so where can I sit? Like, their answer was, I don't know, you just have to find somewhere to sit. So it's kind of annoying, because it's like, okay, I did find somewhere to sit, but you telling me I can't sit there, and I can't go inside. So where am I supposed to eat? In the bathroom? Like, you know what I mean? So then anyway, so there, I just went and sat down or whatever with another like group of older kids, and that was completely fine. And then, but it was kind of annoying, because there would be other supervisors or other people that would go and sit at the kindergarten section, and no one said anything to them. So I was like, why can't I sit there? Like, what's the issue? And even my coworkers didn't understand why I couldn't sit there, because one day my supervisor literally came and got me and was like, oh, like, remember, like, you can't sit here. And I'm like, what is the problem with this camp? It's lunch. Like, what am I doing by sitting here? It wasn't even like, it was just kind of frustrating, because it's like everywhere I sat, they had an issue with it. So I was like, whatever, like this, I was like, you know what, Bria, you are going home in just a few hours. Lunch is only for 30 minutes. Do not worry. Do not stress yourself out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to hear more things like this, more story times. I kind of enjoy doing story times just because there's so much stuff that goes down in my life that I don't speak about or whatever, but I think it would be pretty cool to just like tell more stories and everything. So I'll probably just keep posting and like more story times because I have a lot of stuff that I want to talk to you guys about. But make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications so you know when I post, because I know it's difficult for everybody to know when I'm posting and everything. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, I try not to bore you guys. Like, I don't want to bore you guys because I know how I would feel if someone was like boring me and I'd be like, okay, bye, like I'm not watching this video no more. But yeah, that's all I have to say. So see you later. Bye. Look behind